All right, my brother, we are live. Hey, everybody, how are you? Good morning to you. Good day to you, wherever you're at from all over the world. I hope you woke to the most miracle morning and are also having the most fortunate day today. My name is jaymatt. I'm your host today. We're going to be talking about some really cool stuff here, but I want you to meet a real life, and we're going to go into everything we're going to talk about, but I want you to meet, and I don't think I've even told him this. This is my good buddy, Scott Lee Gabriel, and he's a real soul brother. I've known him for a long time when we first started our show, Spiritually Raw, right from the beginning, right from the get-go. And so he still talks to me. This is good. We're all good. But this guy's a real life Noah's Ark. I'm not kidding you. He's got the innate ability to be able to be way ahead of trends and find out what's going on. And then all of a sudden they just seem to happen, right? So all of a sudden they just seem to happen. Hey, Dr. Ace, how are you? Hey, everybody. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us today. So, there's been this big issue, with food shortages we keep hearing about. And I'm not one of these that's all about, and me and April, we're not one of these that are about like, don't buy into the fear, don't buy into the hype, maybe don't get like all these different buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of stuff and store it away for like astronaut food. But he's got something here that's pretty real and makes a lot of sense. Okay. It does make a lot of sense, whether we're in some shortage or not, just to be able to help us here. So Scott, how you doing, brother? And I want to thank you for your time for coming in on today. And I want to kind of get everybody really acclimated into what's happened right now, what you're looking at in trends. Scott is a very well-known psychic. I'll have his information in the links below. A healer, a spiritual guide to many. And again, and I'm not being funny when I say I really think he's got that DNA of a Noah's Ark kind of person, you know what I mean, who gets the foresight so he can share it with the rest of the world. So enough about me. Brother, how are you? It's good to hang out with you here.
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's been a minute since we've been able to talk like this, but so you've been able to successfully really share a message with people about, without getting them into the hype of the whole fear. But the reality is I think people can go into grocery stores. They know what's going on with all the trucker convoys that are able, they're not able to get the things where they need to get them right now. So there are food shortages. There are prices going out there. Maybe some areas are noticing more than others, but you've really got ahead of the curve once again with this particular scenario. Can you talk to us about the vision you saw about what we're going to talk about and what you did to run with it? And actually, we're going to be looking at your flip-flop farming here in a second, but what you did with it all, man, and show us what you did there. If you can run us down that path.
Sure. Well, first was assuming nothing was going on, assuming there were no food shortages, there was no trucker convoy, gas prices weren't through the roof, blah, blah, blah. Let's just assume that life was back to where it was a couple of years ago, and it was normal, right? Under normal, our food supply is not good from the standpoint that everybody who looks at food can see that it's sprayed with a lot of toxic chemicals. There's a lot of GMOs. There's a lot of herbicides and pesticides. Watching farmers wear hazmat suits to apply chemicals. And the food itself isn't picked for like taste or nutrition. It's picked on how long it'll stay living on the shelf that somebody can sell it. And most food, even organic, is, it's really produced on average like 1,000, 2,000 miles away from where it's consumed. And just the nature of food is that every 24 hours, it loses about 20% of its nutritional value.
Wow.
So you figure something's coming 2,000 miles away, by the time you get it, its actual, nutritional value, flavor, those things is pretty short. And so that's on the best case scenario of things staying quote unquote normal, right? Now on the say worst case scenario, but right now with gas prices alone, got a friend who's got a big farm, and in the end of 2021, it was costing them about $200 a day to fill up their tractor. Right now, it's about $800 a day to fill up their tractor. It's happening. Things like nutrient that farmers use to make crops grow, over 30% of that's produced in the Ukraine and Russia. So obviously they're not, exporting anything right now. They've got other things going on. And so we've got friends who are farmers. One guy who is one of the largest farmers, he actually owns a 16,000 acre farm in Iowa, 6th generation guy. And he's like, look, the price of my nutrients has gone up 300%.
You know
It's
what's
like,
amazing, man? It's like you take a look at it. It's like, and I was in the store the other day and I was looking at all the organic sections and things like that. And holy smokes, man, it's like what you got to pay just to be able to, it's like you're paying to protect yourself against what they're trying to give you. It's like ransom.
right, right.
It feels like
if you want it with poison, it's cheaper. If you want it without poison, it's more expensive.
Holy smokes, man. Isn't that absolutely insane when you think about that? That is crazy. And you know what it is? It's like, we don't even know. And then I want to get your vibe on this, but I do want to say this. We truly in 2022 do not know. We think we know, but I'm sure there's a lot we don't know of actually what we're really ingesting with what we're allowing them to do. So not only from, I would say, from a food, we wanted to bring this out to everybody, not only from a possible food shortage, but really, I think at this point in our lives, best practices kind of scenario, best family.
100%.
Practice. Would you say, man? And
100%.
Yeah, can you talk to a little bit about how you were able to now take this, implement this, and share this? Because again, you've been doing this, and God bless you for your service on this. But was it how much of the intuition came into play when you're like, okay, because you've not just bought one of these things and have it there. You got flip-flop farming going on. I mean, you got a whole thing, and you're making a major impact in the community where you live. Was that how much of that was intuition, and how much was that of just really pragmatically looking at the trends?
Both. It was really both. I mean, we've got a big family. We've got 6 kids, and most of them are over 6 feet tall. So they're big guys, and they eat a lot. Anybody with kids will tell you they eat a lot, especially the bigger they get. So before the pandemic, our average grocery bill for a month was about $1,500. Post-pandemic, it was more like $2,500 a month. Because again, like you say, when you're getting the good food, you're paying more for it.
Yeah.
And so we started looking at what are some ways that we can just grow our own stuff. Now, where we live on Merritt Island, the soil is sand. And so everything we tried, we dug down 3 feet. We did layers of compost and peat moss and topsoil, whatever, all this stuff. And we just couldn't get anything to grow. So we turned to science. And that's what this thing is here behind me, is basically what NASA and Epcot designed for growing food as effectively as possible. And so with this little tower system, people grow their own food. They grow it 3 times faster than what's in the soil. They use 90% less space. They use 98% less water. And the food, it's better than organic, and it stays on the tower until you eat it. So there is no, it goes bad in the fridge. Like if you get organic stuff and then you put it in the fridge and 3 days later it's slimy if you didn't eat it yet. With this, you're literally just taking it off the tower as you're eating it. So this is, a combination. This is squash at the bottom. We've got some cucumber, some Swiss chard, tomato. Like there's just all kinds of stuff. Whatever you want to put on there, you can.
You got all that on that one stand.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll grow. This one grows 28 plants, and it's pretty much whatever. Whoops, my camera around. It's basically whatever 28 plants you decide. So the way that it works is it grows with no soil. So there's no bending over. There's no weeding. Everything's grown in this stuff here, which is called rock wool. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
But basically kind of like rock wool insulation. It used to be basalt rock. They melted it down. They spun it like cotton candy. You drop a seed in the top, and you make a plant. And so just to illustrate to you what that process looks like, because again, we went a little bigger scale. So here's where they're small. And then when they get here. And so the way it works is when you plant it in there, the roots grow right out the bottom of the thing. So there's no soil, no nothing. And you just pop that little plant right in the tower, and it's just going to keep growing for you and making food. So what we did, and kind of the aha moment, if you will, is we had 2 towers. You can see them over there by the koi pond. We had 2, and the kids were devouring them. And I was going to get a 3rd one, but I decided to just pray on it and say, okay, God, what are we doing? And within 2 hours, I was connected with someone who sold the entire commercial farm of 67 towers.
Insane, man, because I know it wasn't that even long ago. You were just kind of like throwing it out there, and like how you do, you just kind of get the buy for it, and then all of a sudden it's that. It's like,
that no moment of looking at it going, okay, well, is this my ark and is it raining? And then I started seeing on the news where like 16 major food manufacturers in the U.S. burned down mysteriously in the since 2022. So just in the last 4 months, they all happened on a Wednesday or Thursday. Like, it's just weird. I mean, these things are huge. These are like Amazon warehouse size food processing plants, and
So
like
how
18 of them burned down.
how big are those that we're looking at right there in your property right there? How big are those plants? Let's say one unit, and could something like that fit in, let's say, an apartment like a condo kind of patio?
Oh yeah. In fact, let me show you this one real quick just to break away from that. But for people who don't have much space, let me just walk into my dining room real quick, because you can actually grow these things indoors or out year round. So this comes with its own little grow lights. Going to take you around to the back where you can see we've been eating off it, but you just keep eating and it just keeps growing. Like these are 5 different varieties of lettuce, and because this is kind of our little salad tower, and you chop it off and it grows back in a week. And so it just continually keeps providing food for you.
How long, once you started the process of like putting in that little, like you were illustrating earlier, that the square, if you would, I'll just reference it at that, when you actually planted it, how long from like seeding it to being able to access it for nutrients?
Yeah, this tower here is about 2.5 weeks old.
What?
Yeah, so this is how quickly stuff grows. And yeah, so it grows just stupid fast. Again, NASA designed these things for growing food in space. And so here where we're on the island and we have like terrible soil, this is great because there's no soil. And because there's no soil, there's no weeding. And so for people who have limited space, like an apartment building or something like that, that little indoor tower, which you can kind of see over my shoulder there in the dining room, that one's got a 24-inch by 24-inch base. That's it. It doesn't take up much room. 2 feet by 2 feet by about 5 feet tall.
So with what you've done there, you technically just really pretty much, other than your proteins and the other stuff, all your vegetables, your nutrients, your other stuff, you don't need to get anywhere else, right?
No. In fact, in the towers over here, and you can see on the seating table also, is on our little farm, which again you can do on one tower like we have over there, a variety tower. We're growing right now watermelon, cantaloupe, strawberries, 5 different types of lettuces, beans, peas, tomatoes, cucumbers, kale, Swiss chard, bok choy, you name it, we're growing it. And again, you can see here on the seating table that we got, there's spinach, squash, oregano, dill, thyme, onion. There's a bunch of different lettuces. There's Queen Mary, Little Gem, Endive, romaine.
That's great, man.
Like you name it, and you can grow it. And again, it's as simple as putting it in the little pod, putting some water on it, waiting about these in about 4 days become these little guys. And within a week, they're more like this and ready to go in a tower. You pop it in, and the tower technology does its job. Because the way that it works is, think of it like a modular system. So instead of being a tower, it's made up of, let me show you one here. It's basically made up of these little, they call them pots. And so inside is all the technology. So basically that little tube in the center, water pumps up through that and goes up to the top and rains water down only on the roots. And it puts the water and nutrient on for 3 minutes, and then it shuts off for 12 minutes. 12 minutes of just air. Another 3 minutes of water and nutrient, 12 minutes of air. And because of that, again, this tower here is about 2 weeks old.
Just 2 weeks old. Holy smokes.
That's 2 weeks old. And that's what I was saying with you in April is, yeah, come over to the farm and look at it yourself, because it's right here. But also, like, literally, we can, if the Wi-Fi signal will allow us to go out in the actual farm, like, I can show you the stuff we just planted. We can do another show in 2 weeks, and you can watch it grow for yourself, because the stuff grows literally 3 times faster than in the ground.
Everybody, you see it right there. That's the, check out that link right there that I got displayed there. That's for you to do, take a look and see what's going on there, and, how you can take a look, because there's questions about what kind of seeds and all that stuff. Go to the link, check it out there. You've actually opened this up as a business. I mean, you have people in your community that are coming to you now, and they're doing that. How's that going, man? I mean, you just recently opened that up, and how is it? What was your expectations of what would happen, and what is the reality of what's happening right now?
Well, my expectation was I was led to it. It felt like the right time. I pulled the trigger and did it, and figured when I follow what intuition tells me, the results normally speak for themselves, normally take care of themselves. And so, like, what we didn't know was, like, the seedling business, these things sell for anywhere from $1 to $3 a piece, and our table holds 2,500 of them. Wow. And people come by, whether they're regular gardeners or tower gardeners, and just buy the seedlings and pop them in, because it saves them, a week or two worth of going from this stage over to that stage and then into the tower and all that. But also, like regular gardeners, Home Depot is selling these things for $3, $4, $5, $10 a piece. And so for a couple of bucks, you can just line them out. So we didn't plan on this thing, again, do the math, 2,500 seedlings, $3 a piece, turnover every couple of weeks. Like, that's massive. But yeah, for the towers themselves, we started getting the city of Cocoa, by restaurants, by people saying, hey, I just want to buy the food because it's better than I can get in the store. And I'm picking it literally fresh. Like, it literally is off the tower to the table.
So you got restaurants coming to you?
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah, well, and there are more and more restaurants right now that are starting to get like those indoor towers, yeah, and put them literally in the restaurant so people can see this is your food, this is where it is, and again, there's nothing sprayed on it. There's no pesticides, no herbicides, so you're literally just eating right off the tower.
How do you feel, man? Like you, the family, has anybody since you've been doing, first of all, how long have you all been really diving in, just to refresh us on that one? And how does everybody feel, mind, body, spirit? I mean, is there a noticeable difference that you notice by eating this way that you all have experienced?
Oh, massive. I mean, first, we got our first tower in November. Yeah. So we've only been at this literally a few months. And when you eat from a metaphysical perspective, when you eat high vibration foods, your vibration raises. So it makes things like health, intuition, happiness, those kind of things that much.
Did we lose him? We'll get him back. All right, everybody. So you see what's happening out here, right? I mean, this is pretty wild. It's like we're actually watching this play out where he is. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Anyway, so check this out, everybody. So this guy has built a whole farm, right? So this is what we're looking at right now. And so anyway, I'm gonna, while he got cut out, let me just see here. Get to some of your comments. All righty. Hold on, I'm coming back. All right, good morning. There you go. Good morning. There we go. All right, we lost him there. All right, we'll get back to him. All right, what's we got here? No sound. Okay. All righty. Yep, I know, Mimi, this is amazing if you can hear me. Hold on a second. All right, let's see if you guys can hear me. April says no sound. All righty. So do I do the soul by me is really bad? All right, there you go. Yeah, this is something that everybody could use. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I got a thumbs up. All right, cool. There you go. All right, cool. So anyway, thanks everybody. So that was Scott. I don't know if he'll be able to bring back on, but you got the vibe of what was going on there, right? I mean, he's got this really cool thing. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, Michael. He's got this really cool thing. This guy really is like a real Noah's Ark. I'm not kidding you. He's got this. I've known him for years, 12, 13 years. I mean, on financial trends, on, spiritual trends, on these kind of things we're going through right now, the food thing that's going on there. So we did put it here. I'm going to put it back up here, and check this out, everybody. We really got pretty attracted to it because we're like, you know what? And again, is that him? He's coming back. There we go. We got you back, buddy?
Yep. I guess I got a little too far to Wi-Fi range trying to go out in the garden to the little tower farm thing to show you stuff.
That's all right. I was trying to do your job. I didn't really do it well, so I'm glad you're back. But yeah, you were getting back into like how the family's feeling and physically, mind, body, spirit, how eating that way is affecting you, and what have you noticed?
Oh yeah, huge. And like when I watch April, like I've eaten April's cooking. I've been at your house. I know how well she cooks. I know the quality of the food you guys eat. And I'm like, this is phenomenal. And when I watch her post stuff on Facebook and things, she's like, oh, here's what we're eating today. And there's all this amazing stuff. My brain initially goes to, man, April's a great cook. My second thought goes to, man, if y'all were like the flavor of this stuff, I'm telling you, bro, they're like 5x what you're used to, the best organic.
That is crazy. That is insane.
Yeah, when we did our first strawberry, for example, my daughter Trinity, who's now 9, right? So she tried a strawberry, the first one off the tower, and her eyes got this big, and she looked. Now we get strawberries every week, organic, like for years. She loves strawberries, but this was her first one off the tower. Her eyes got this big, and she goes, "Dad, that thing just punched me in the tongue."
You know what? What's that like? And I really, because you're setting such an amazing example for, I think, what's going to be a lot of our future, man. You really are. You got your family together. Everybody's there, but everybody in your family is really involved in this. I mean, you really are. You all. I see the pictures that you put all over Facebook. I mean, what you're doing is just, again, it's really incredible. It really is. Not only the business side of what you're putting together, but you got all hands on deck on this one. How did the family feel about, for those watching who have families and properties like yours, how did the family feel like diving in on this together? What was that like? And how did that come up?
Yeah, well, it's just cool. I mean, if you look around, you actually see a few of my boys out here now in the garden. There's Parker over there getting ready to do something. There's Derek behind me doing other stuff. Derek.
Oh, man.
Oh, where'd you go? All right, there he is.
I see you.
So yeah, we got boys out here doing stuff because they like it, and because like they like the food, but also to take something from a little bitty seed into a seedling, into a plant, into a tower, and then you watch that little seed become a 6-foot broccoli, and you're like, dude, I did that.
A year ago, someone said to you, "Hey, Scott, you're going to have a farm, and people are going to be coming in there." Only 1 year ago. Was this even on your radar, anything like this?
No, not at all. The last thing I wanted to do, honestly, was be a farmer. In fact, the reason we call it flip-flop farming is because when we started, like, we moved here from South Dakota. So we moved here from farm country. And all my buddies were like, "You became a farmer?" I'm like, that tells you things have gotten wonky when I become a farmer, for one. And then they give me a hard time because they were in, big snow and cold weather. And they're like, "Dude, you got your Carhartts and your overall." I'm like, "Dude, I farm in flip-flops. Like, that's how we do it around here. We're on an island." And they just joking. So we called it flip-flop farming. And so, yeah, those 67 towers, like, I'm working on right now getting a tower farm this size to a village in Africa that will literally feed the entire village with what I got in my backyard.
God bless you, my brother. God bless you.
So we're taking this thing worldwide because, again, these things are, they're designed, they use 98% less water than traditional farming. So for somebody in Africa where water is such a huge premium, the fact that because this is a closed loop system. So all the water sits in the bottom, pumps up to the top, rains back down again. It's closed loop. And so it keeps using that same water over and over and over again. It's self-watering. And so in Africa, they're like, "Dude, we can grow crops year round with a tiny amount of water, comparatively speaking."
Right.
And I'm like, "Dude, let's feed the people." Now, yes, I want to start with my family, of course. But then was my community. Okay, here, with this, we can feed my community. Then we started partnering with other people like you saying, "Dude, I don't want to be the only one. Like, my little farm can only feed so many people. So I want to empower people to get their own." Again, this thing here, this whole tower system that comes with, again, everything. It's the tower, it's the pump, the timer, the nutrients, the pH, the seeds, the seedlings, the rock wool, everything to grow food for a year is less than $2 a day. At the end of a year, it's paid for, but it keeps making food for 20, 30 years.
Scott Jay is saying on here, "God bless us, man." And I think a lot of people do agree. God bless you, brother. So, I wanted to also talk about this too, because we live in a condo, and you just illustrated for those of you just tuning in. I was like, because April was like, "Hey, we need one of these towers, right?" I'm like, "Where are we going to put it?" Right. You know what I'm saying? But you've illustrated, you're actually getting to witness this, everybody. You're seeing the actual size of what these are. So they're not going to get in your way. You know what I mean?
No, this is an outdoor tower. So this will go great like on your patio and stuff. This is 30 inches by 30 inches, the footprint.
Wow.
And holds 20 gallons. The indoor one that I showed you is 13 gallons. Yeah. It's 24 inches by 24 inches. Like, you can literally put that anywhere. And we've got, because again, we moved here from South Dakota. So we got a lot of friends that don't live in tropical Florida. They can go outdoor year round. So those indoor towers, you can literally, I got a guy who's got 4 of them in his basement in Canada.
Wow.
They're like, dude, I'm growing fresh food year round.
Now, do you need any special lighting for, like, let's say, for example, temperatures that are cold or whatever? Does it need to be in sunlight? I noticed when there's any type of specific things that need to come along if they have to grow indoors.
Yeah, if you grow indoors, it comes with a lighting kit.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So these are little LED bars here.
Okay.
Provide all the light that you need.
That's good enough. That's just as good as having it outside then, right?
Right. Outside, you don't need them. Let the sun do it. Inside, there's this, and the lights have this little separate timer, so you can tell it how long you want it on and off, and it just comes on, comes off. You put the water in the bottom here, along with the nutrients, little pump kicks on, and that's it. It just does its job. It just grows the way NASA made it, designed it to do.
Hey, everybody, if you're digging this message and you're liking what we're talking about here, we'd all greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel, like it, and share it. That would be good. Get the word out about this. This is pretty cool. Hey, I'm going to ask you, Scott, if you can do Scott, again, for those of you tuning in, Scott's also a world-famous psychic. Can you put on your psychic hat, your Spidey Sense hat for me for a minute and tell us what you see coming out if people don't really start to take in a look at strategies or solutions like this?
You know, any psychic can tell you, this is what I think, this is what I think, here's what I feel, here's what I get coming in. And that's all true. That's good stuff. Again, I've been a world-class psychic for the last 30 years, written some best-selling books. I've got a Congressional Leadership Award. I've been asked to speak at the United Nations for 10 days. Like, I'm near the top of my game as far as intuition goes. But what I always say is, if the information you get is worth acting on it, are you acting on it? And I would say, I am acting on it. Yeah, like we talked earlier, a year ago, the thought of me being a farmer would have been insane. There's no way. But all the intuitions along the way, and now backed up with all the real world events that are going on right now, is in my opinion, there's nothing to lose from the standpoint of worst case scenario, you get the best food on the planet for pennies. Worst case scenario, you know, we all just went through, everybody who's watching just went through the whole pandemic thing where for some of us, the first time in our lives, we went to grocery stores and saw empty shelves.
Yeah,
you know, we're used to that in Florida just before a hurricane, or in the Midwest just before a snowstorm, but for prolonged places. And we watch people do stupid stuff. Like, I watch people around me lose their minds over toilet paper. You know, 100%. Like, what is it when it's actual food for your family stuff?
Well, you know, listen, and again, I'm noticing it too, man. I mean, you know, where we live too, I'm like, oh man, those shelves still look a little empty. And, you know, just, I guess, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, you know, instead of reacting to it, you know, you're being smart about it. Got a couple of questions here, Scott, if you can help answer for us. Some people are asking.
Sure.
Shipping to the United Kingdom, is that available at this time? Do you know
of? Right now, it's not. Right now, the only place that you can get these tower systems on the residential level are in the United States, Canada, and I believe Mexico. They're looking to open up Europe, I think, third quarter of this year. The only thing that we've done so far is we've had people in the U.S. buy them and then ship them privately overseas. The tower farms, those are available worldwide. So we've got some of these that just got put into a big mansion in Dubai. We've got, again, the farm in Africa, another one in India, and the Philippines, and all over the world. We're doing the big tower farms, but the individual ones, just the U.S., Canada, and I believe Mexico for the moment.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it's coming. Hang in there. Hang in there. We still got a good part of the world that's happening there. Man, I got to tell you, I want to kind of echo what people are saying there about you, brother. Dude, God bless you for real. And, you know, again, leading the charge of not only what you're doing to help humanity, the service, but you're showing it absolutely since November to here we are in April, which is really only 5 months now. It is now, right? So what is that 5 months? You've shown how to really take a possible solution. Like if we do get into a critical event or something does happen, you've shown people the resolve that there is a solution out there. That is freaking awesome, bro. God bless you. You should be so proud of yourself. We're all proud of you, you know?
Well, thank you. The thing that has been amazing to us has been watching how quickly these things grow.
Yeah.
And I say that because, like, right now, some people who are watching who aren't familiar with our little farm could say, you know, a lot of those towers look empty. But the reason for that is we've already harvested them multiple times. So we had and again, I can share with you pictures, but we've had a wall of tomatoes that was 15 feet tall and 30 feet long, just dripping tomatoes. we've had walls of beans and peas that are up 12, 15 feet, just dripping down beans and peas. Right now, the peppers are coming. And so, you know, things grow so quickly that we're constantly having turnover. And then because we grow our own, which again, you can do on the residential tower too, you don't have to use a big farm for this, but we pick one plant of each species we plant, we let it go to seed, and that way we make our own seed bank.
Well, you know, if you're
because seeds are getting kind of tough to come by.
Yeah, you know, if you're in an area where you can get it, and hang in there, Kirsty. I think it sounds like it's going to be coming. This will catch fire. I think UK should be coming soon. It's my promise.
Yeah, they're looking at 10 countries in Europe opening up before fall.
There you go. It's right around the corner there, and for all you watching internationally. But again, just like what we talked about earlier, if you missed what we were saying there, is that, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't want, and I'm that guy too, where I'm like, I don't feel like I need to store just a ton of like food that'll last me for 30 years. But this right there makes very good sense. And it really, quite frankly, in today's world, in today's climate, at a personal level, we wanted to bring Scott out here. I believe it's the right thing to do. It really is. I think to just be, you know, just be sensible about it, be smart about it. Things are happening that are out of our control energetically. You know, people are making decisions that maybe they shouldn't, but whatever. You know, you still got a life to live and life must go on. So have it try to go on in the best way. I got a link being displayed there for you right there, so you all can check it out and find out what your options are there. And I'm also going to put here real quick, if you all have any questions, that's my email right there. You can feel free to email us there. You know, and if I don't know the answer, I'll put up the bat signal and Scott can help out. And from there, though, brother, I want to thank you for coming out here today. I really do appreciate, again, your service and dedication. And you've always been like this to really help people have a better existence from all over life. I mean, that's just your spirit. It's really a privilege to know you. Any final words before you love and leave us?
Yeah, well, just the last thing that I would say is just kind of echoing what we've already done, which is, you know, one of my favorite quotes is dig your well before you're thirsty. And because it's tough to dig it once you're already thirsty. So right now is, again, I'm not trying to sell you anything or whatever, but if you can have better food for pennies, why not? If it gives you peace of mind, great. You know, the food prep stuff's fine, but they all have expiration dates. At some point, the cans start to explode. With this, there's no expiration date. It just keeps producing. And you know, should there be something that happens, your body's already used to eating the really good stuff, getting the max nutrition. So, you know, you're really doing yourself a favor no matter which way you go. And again, in my world, it's just the proof's in the pudding. If one tower makes sense, which is what we started with, and we went to 2, then we went to 67, is there's really no reason that somebody can't or would not benefit from doing this. Again, when it only uses up 2 feet by 2 feet in your house, and the peace of mind, like every time the news comes on, they're like, hey, this, that, food, whatever, where we used to get like all stressed out about it because, again, I got 6 kids. I'm the dad. I look to, you know, provide and feed. Now I don't get scared. Now I'm like, okay, we're doing something about it. Our family's good. Now our community's good. Now we're working one person at a time to make sure that as many people as possible are good, no matter what, good or bad. And when you're positioned to win either way, there's no lose.
I love it. I love it, man. This is fantastic. All right, everybody. So you see that? Real time, real life, real hope, real prosperity. Life must go on. So you know what? Just like you said, I love that. What'd you say about you know, don't dig the well when you're thirsty? You know?
Right.
That's awesome. That's such a true statement, though. You're right. It's such a true statement. This is really cool. They're so cool, and no more digging. That's right, Michael. This is so cool, and no more digging in the dirt, especially if you don't have one. All right, yeah, Dr. Ace, what do we got here? A question for you. Does this come with particular seeds, or can we use anything? Dr.
Both.
Ace, to know.
Both. It comes with everything, including the seeds and the rockwool and everything, and they're all non-GMO organic seeds that they come with. However, in addition to that, you can use any seeds you want to. The only thing that the towers can't grow is a root vegetable, so like a potato, carrot, turnip, those kind of things, okay. Just because the ports are only so big. But outside of that, if it's a seed, you plant it, it's working.
So cool. I love it. All right, let's see if we got anything else. All right, makes so much sense. And there's not, that's right, Janie. It does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? All right, this is so cool. We got that there. All right, cool. Everybody, this is really good, everybody. God bless us all. God bless this gentleman right here for showing us not only, I think people knew that these things were available, but to actually illustrate to us like exactly how it works, how quick it can actually potentially be a lifesaver for everybody. And you know, don't dig the well when you're thirsty. I'm gonna take that one, brother. I think I might be using that more now, if you don't mind.
Yeah, do it. And like I say, the cool thing with this is it's not hype. It's not based on only bad news, good news stuff. And the reality is that, again, we're already doing it. Our little backyard farm, we literally open to the public. So people come, and our little Facebook group, whatever, but people watch like day by day, step by step, these things grow. And for anybody who doubts, like, can it really grow that fast, or is this hype, whatever, like, again, go to our page, or, you know, here, we can do the show again in a week or two or whatever you want. And we can actually show, like, this is what was planted. Here's what's growing. Here's where it is. There's where it is, you know, because it's legit.
You know, I'd love to, like, when you all go to the site and you do the, oh, by the way, which was really, really cool. And this is another thing that's unheard of, man. They have, like, where, you know, people can make like payments towards this stuff. They've made it super easy, everybody. I mean, we looked into this before we asked Scott to come in to find out, you know, hey, you know, what's this all look like? But there's a lot of cool ways. But that would be a good idea. I'd love to have like people that are actually going to be ordering this here after watching this video, for you to come back and really, you know, email us. I'm going to put my email out here too. Where I go? I'm getting it back. Bear with me 1 second. All right. So put the email back right here. Email us and let us know what your experiences are. So, you know, we could start illustrating, you know, getting this thing moving forward. Again, this is super important. Whatever the climate is we're living in right now, it really does make sense. I mean, it makes good family sense right now to you know, it's like stocking up an extra little bit of water when you live in a hurricane area like we do, but probably better than that. Thank you, my brother. I do appreciate you coming out here with us. Really much love on this. Hey, everybody, again, the links will be in the description below. I'll put it back up there for you. Email with any questions you got on this. And in addition to that email, I'm going to keep that email up there for all of you who are really having a great experience with the ASEA journey or ASEA experience. We're going to be doing a private event with Dr. David Silverman this Wednesday coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So email us so I can send you over the Zoom invitation link for you on that. Scott, again, thanks again, brother, man. I really appreciate everything. Much love, and God bless all of you and your family for doing this work for all of us. So that's great.
You too, man. Much love to you in April.
Yeah, I love you, buddy. I'll see you next time.
And the Spiritually Raw family.
Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us both, as you always do. We hope this was of value to you, and much love. We will see you next time. All right. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much.
Right on. Thanks, everybody.